everyone, welcome to the first episode of Marketing Uncensored. And we could not have found a better person to start the series. It's Mr. Raghu Radhakrishnan, CEO and MD of TmaxSoft. Thank you so much, Raghu, for coming to this, series. And it's, the first episode of the series. He has over 27 years of, experience in sales and marketing in the IT industry, which is a big myth. So thank you so much. We could not have found a better person to kick off the series. Thank you so much for coming again.
Thanks, Kriti. It's my pleasure to engage with you and making sure that the ecosystems that I always engage with, and
Right.
I believe that I want each and everyone in the ecosystem should rock. And in fact, last week I met Kamal Bali,
Oh,
who is the Volvo MD. We are neighbors and we met on a common platform.
right.
And during that, he asked me, Raghu, are you rocking? Yeah, he said, yeah, I'm my people around me are rocking, so obviously I will rock. So for me, the first foremost important aspect of our success is the success around uh, myself and the people who are engaging with and the ecosystem are successful. Obviously, I get the benefit of being a part of the success journey. So that's what I'm interested in, and I'm sure this engagement is just the beginning of Ekakshar. I hope I pronounced that.
Akakshar, yes.
Pardon me?
It's Akakshar. I know it's a little difficult to pronounce.
Ekakshar, right?
Yes.
Yes, Ekakshar. Uh, my pleasure to associate with Ekakshar and see how we can enable you to be successful. And in the bargain, we also see some value in our engagement as well. Thanks a lot to Kriti for taking some time to engage with, and hopefully, I'm sure you will have an interesting and engaging discussion going today.
Absolutely, Raghu. Really look forward to it. So, Raghu, just diving deep into the topic, IT industry is so vast and it is so competitive and it is so intense. And you have made a mark for yourself or your company, in such a competitive industry. How do you, exactly do that? How do you achieve that? And despite being, surrounded by so many competitors, Tmax has a very different kind of positioning in, in marketing in India as well as in, abroad. So how do you achieve that?
The fundamental thing is, one of the key things when I joined this organization, I knew what I'm going into. I knew what my strengths are, my weaknesses are, and also the company's strengths and weakness. And I realized that this particular company suits my style of functioning and capabilities that I have, uniquely positioned capability that I possess, which is what driving me to make a success for this organization. And this organization has a unique capability too, which matches, which blends together to make a joint success. What is the unique capability? Unique capability of this organization is you will see, first of all, in the IT industry, you have a product-based organization and a
Right,
services-led organization.
right,
Even within the product-based organization, you have application products and you have
right,
a system software products.
right,
We operate in the enterprise system software space, and we are not a traditional US-based or a European-based company where uh, product-based organizations are extremely successful, like IBM,
right,
Microsoft, Google, and Oracle.
right.
So outside the US based company, you will find negligible system software company or almost nil system software company outside the US based company to be successful. Uh, in fact, TmaxSoft is the only other outside US based company which has been extremely successful in Korea and
Yeah.
obviously reasonably successful outside Korea. And that's the one of the key unique capability that we bring in as a product based company. Why it's so important that I could able to see some sort of a blending of the capability that matches to this organization is there are a lot of limitations, right? My company has got a lot of limitation with respect. One is the language.
Yes.
The it's a company globally. It's a small company, but in Korea it's quite big, and it's a family-based company. It's a company. It's not a public limited company. It's a and my chairman is not a business person. He was a professor before setting up this organization. His vision is completely different than the many of the vision in the current trends that is there. His vision is to be among the top five software companies, specifically in the technology, leading in the technology, rather than uh, mainly because of the valuation or mainly because of the revenue growth, etc. You
Right.
want to be remembered as the leader in terms of providing the technology and solving the business problems. So there is a purpose in terms of my chairman's vision, how we want to take this forward. At the same time, that purpose aligned to my purpose of not looking at the only the money part of it, and solving the customers' problem, solving the ecosystem's problem, which are very pertinent. Many of the partnerships, if you see,
Right.
or the engagement that happens with the OEM and the partners, more of business like, and everything related to money. I'm quite rightly so. I'm not saying that money is not required, but money is required. In our approach, is money is required to build newer technologies and newer products that can solve the customer's problem, and that possibly it will take a longer lead time in terms of sustained success, and that's why we are in. And if you see, our marketing approach in Korea is completely different. They are
Mhm.
doing a traditional marketing, and we have been extremely successful in terms of building a brand image, leading brand in Korea.
Like coming to the into the specifics of how do you kind of market, and because in IT industry, especially with any kind of B2B services, it's very tough to make a mark, right? When
Yes.
it comes to make your customers aware that there is a brand which adds so and so value, and it's not exactly as straightforward as B2C marketing, right? In you get a brand ambassador and you start promoting your product. It's not that simple, right? In B2B
Yes.
marketing, especially in IT industry, with so many brand names involved there already. So, and in a tough market like Korea, how do you exactly, market yourself, position yourself, reach out to your customers? Uh, so is it basically word of mouth marketing, or do you go out in the field and there is a very aggressive sales and marketing team? How do you exactly position that?
See, as far as the Korea market is concerned, it's quite simple and it's not a rocket science. It's a traditional marketing that people do. It's a local company. Obviously, traditionally, if you see, Korean industry is predominantly focused on semiconductors, and you will find Samsung and LG, the top six brand globally,
Right,
Samsung, and LG is in the top 10. And you will see Hyundai cars in the top 10. So these are all world leaders in the brand as well, and in terms of the car industry or the semiconductor industry, they are leaders. But
right,
system software, we were never been leading in the Korean industry, but we have been extremely successful primarily because the Korean industry supports the local manufacturing, local development, etc. And moreover, Korean industry, the consumption of the Korean industry, as far as the adoption of the technology, is quite different than the other countries. You
right,
will find Korea customers have their own IT department and develop their own applications, unlike the other countries where they buy the third-party application for deployment and usage. So in such a scenario, and Korea is uniquely positioned, so it was not that difficult to develop our market or brand image to be the leaders growing at in the Korean industry, and especially being a Korean made in Korea and selling in Korea with the local language, it was quite easy. That wasn't difficult. What is more difficult is building up that localized effort into the demands of the global engagement. See, we have outstanding assets that has been built over a period of 25 years. We have completed 25 years now, and in the last June 4th, and we have so building that kind of assets in the global marketplace into a reasonable and at the same time making sure that our assets are well utilized and providing a alternative technology solution to the US based company was a big challenge. So what did we do is to position ourselves accordingly with the best of the industry in the technology space, which is Oracle. And we have two unique products. While we have multiple product lines, how we positioned ourselves is to provide a technology stack as best in the industry. And the the beauty of that is what we say and what we communicate through marketing, no exaggeration, everything is truthful. And people who have engaged with us, they have seen the fortune as compared to them. Have they been using the technology stack from Oracle for many, many years? When they started tasting the success with us, they have seen significant value in terms of engaging with us. So positioning ourselves vis-a-vis Oracle and gaining the mind share, because Oracle is a global brand, and not only brand, it's a best in the class globally and adopted for the last 30 years by the global enterprise. And positioning ourselves and delivering to that level of standard, it's like committing to deliver like a Mercedes Benz and meeting that level of standard much more than what Mercedes Benz could offer at the cost of 30% of the cost of the Mercedes Benz is what we position ourselves. And we have been consistently positioning ourselves vis-a-vis Oracle and delivering to the needs. And also till today, we have been follower of Oracle. And now with the newer changes that we have been adopting in our technology stack, we will be leading in terms of technology as such compared to Oracle. And especially coming back to India, we are not known. TmaxSoft is known only in Korea. And globally in India, nowhere you will find TmaxSoft was well known in the marketplace, except for the fact that we used to take those clippings or the case studies, what happened in Korea, in India. So it requires a highest level of motivation and the dedication, devotion, I should say, devotion, literally devoted. And it's not that you these are products. When I joined TmaxSoft, having come from IBM, spending 15 years in IBM and many previous stint were in the US-based company known for the brand like Intel and Digital. All these are all big brands. Having worked on a big brands, coming to a company where there is absolutely no brand recall by anyone in the industry, which is a most challenging part of it. But I realized it within 15 days what it takes to make a mark in this organization. At the same time, build a strong foundation to take it forward as and when the money comes in. So I had a very limited budget when we started this organization in 2015. We were given it's available in the Ministry of Company Affairs. We had a $1 million investment, and with a share capital and paid up capital only $1 million. And unbelievably, thankfully to God and the people whom I've engaged with in the last 15 years, and the honesty brings in a lot of efforts, you know, to be, make it more successful. And the connects, contacts, my personal involvement in terms of engaging with the ecosystem of partners that I have developed during the initial days have made a significant impact. Especially the first win was the big win. We were so successful in the first 6 months itself. We won a significant deal in government of Gujarat for urban local bodies tax collection for commercial taxes that everybody pays taxes through online. It was vis-a-vis Oracle, and our partner was Tata Consultancy Services. The beauty of this engagement is to engage with the right kind of partner and the partner ecosystem, especially when you're tie up with partner like TCS. They are a big brand in India. You don't need to go and talk about our brand. They are more bothered about the technology stack and the capability of the stack that is involved. And if they get that kind of a stack, they are keen to take us to the marketplace. In fact, I have never even met the customer.
Right.
But we won the deal together, the first engagement. So that was a case study which replicated almost to 30 odd customers in the last 7 years. You pick the right partner and be honest, deliver to the results. That has helped in terms of making a big mark in India in the last 7 years with a limited budget and no marketing spend, and continue to focus on one-to-one engagement and multiple engagement through partner ecosystem, sharing your weakness in terms of the reach, but at the same time making sure that you deliver the promise that as far as the product is concerned, and making sure that you leverage the ecosystem to the fullest, and showing the advantage of those partners what they were looking for in terms of partnering with us is what mattered in our engagement.
Very, very interesting insights, Raghu. I have actually three follow-up questions.
Yeah,
One
sure.
is I wanted to understand that. So you had such a great time, with the Gujarat government, and you delivered such a huge project for them. So then, why exactly you decided not to exactly focus too much on the Indian market? Although IT industry is like synonymous with the India as a country, right? So any specific reason that why instead of focusing too much of your energy in India as a market, you decided to kind of pick up new demographics and new geographies for TmaxSoft?
No, we are focusing on India very, very specifically. In fact, the two things that we are doing, we have two set of products. One is the database products and the middleware products.
Right.
And specifically, the database and the middleware are focused in India. There is another set of product which is very unique for us. Not many people are competing with us. That is the legacy modernization framework, the modernizing the mainframe system to an open system. It brings down the cost by 70%. You will see the legacy modernization global market by 2028 is almost 80 billion. 80
Right.
billion. And that is the focus that all the Indian services industry are engaging with. If you take TCS, Infosys, leading companies, TCS, Infosys, Wipro, and CTS, all these companies have a very strong capability built around the mainframe systems. And these mainframe system predominantly not in India. We
Mm-hmm.
don't have, yeah, we do have some portion of the mainframe, but deployed by the US based company like MasterCard and Visa, which they will not replace it very, very quickly. And especially US is very strong market as far as the mainframe systems are concerned. And Japan is a strong market. In US, they will not touch the mainframe system to modernize to the in a new age open
Right.
systems, primarily because on the mission critical applications like transaction volume, like payments and financial services, banking, Citibank, like MasterCard and Visa card, they will not touch. For more so with the reasons of political aspects, not on the technology aspect. In fact, Indian financial services industry are much more advanced than the US based financial services industry as far as
Right.
the technology adoption is concerned.
Right.
So we will left those areas of modernizing the applications that are deployed in US and UK and Japan. But there are many back-end applications, especially insurance and financial services industry and healthcare industry. Many back-end have deployed mainframe systems. These are managed, serviced by the services companies like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, and CTS.
Yeah.
We have engaged with all these partners, and all these mainframe applications are paying huge cost to the mainframe and the related application and the skill sets, which are huge cost. So we have a unique product called Open Frame, which will help to modernize the existing system, make it more agile to meet the current and the future demands, making it to cloud, digital to cloud. So that's what the journey is all about. That is legacy to digital to cloud. That's what we are engaging with. And all these companies which are in India, we have partnered with them, engaged with them, and we have seen significant success through these companies deploying this technology stack in US, giving the benefit to the customers close to around 70% reduction year on year compared to the earlier investments that they have deployed on mainframe. So two things. One is engaging with India customers through our database technology and the application server technology. And for the global engagements, which there are not many players are there, people engage with us, service providers like TCS, Infosys. In fact, we have one with Infosys on Colony brands, which is one of the leading retail company, and then another company called Fashion Beauty, which is another leading retail company which we work with Azure, moving on to cloud. So three important aspects: Our partner ecosystem was very keen to engage with us because we are small and beautiful and very flexible in terms of engagement and in terms of providing economic modeling that will help the partners to make more money. So we have a very strong partnership with AWS, Google, and Azure, who are keen to engage with us and making sure that their common enemy Oracle is addressed through our engagement. And the other service providers who are partnering with cloud service providers like Azure, AWS, and Google are engaging with us, like TCS, Infosys, Wipro, and CTS. These are all companies whom we have engaged with and delivered significant success sitting in India and delivering services. We have a GDC, Global Development Center in India. We have 40 people here. We have started small, but we are going to grow big sitting in India, delivering services through the services company like Infosys and TCS in customers in US.
So
So addressing two areas.
right. So I see like there are two very interesting points. What you have factored in here is one is the partner network. I think in the IT industry, partner network becomes very important. But at the same time, getting them the right motivation is a big challenge. Like especially when you're competing with other competitors in the market. So just wanted to understand that when you're partnering with say bigger players in the market as well as smaller players in the market, how do you exactly retain them in the long run, other than the of course the incentives what you have talked about, that you are giving a better service to the customers, you are also addressing the competitors in the market, but at the same time it's not always easy to build the partner network and retain them and give them a certain level of motivation that they promote your products. So how exactly you work on that?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a pertinent question that you asked. For us, our core strength is our technology aspect.
Yeah.
And we believe in our technology. We are strong in our technology, the features and functionality, which is far superior than the nearest competition.
Right.
And we provide a unique capability that is not provided by any other competition. Few competitions are there like Micro Focus. They don't provide those kind of features that are available which can solve the problem of any customers in any of the legacy modernization requirement that is applicable in the current scenario. Whether it's, see, there are very unique, I want to tell. Today you have IBM mainframe. Today and other mainframes are Hitachi, Fujitsu. These are mainframe systems.
Yeah.
IBM mainframe is predominantly in the US. In Japan, predominantly it's supported by Fujitsu and Hitachi.
Right.
My competition doesn't provide a technology transfer from Fujitsu and Hitachi, and many of the applications that are deployed on IBM mainframe, it's not easy to be providing a straightforward solution to an open system, even by the competitions. The many of the solutions that we provide is very easy, unlike the competition that we offer. That is a significant advantage that we score over. In one of the key, for example, let me share with you, Wipro being a partner to us, they acquired a company called Health Plan Services that has come out as a case study as well. And Health Plan Services is a $450 million back-end processing organization. They actually placed a letter of intent to Micro Focus. When
Right.
I had engaged with Wipro here, they wanted to build their practice around the legacy modernization, providing solutions to the customer. When they found that we provide a unique solution, easy migration. The key aspect is every customer, every partner, every customer wants to see a quick success turnaround in terms of implementation and usage of the technology quickly, faster, so that their services are provided to the customers quickly and rapidly in a very time bound manner. Unlike it takes around 5 years, 6 years, etc. We provide a solution implementation within 12 months. That's a unique value proposition, and it's possible through a faster implementation. Even the partners wants a quick, faster turnaround in terms of engaging with the OEM like us, which can provide a technology implementation within 12 months time. So these are the two aspects of it. As far the technology is concerned, as far the flexibility is concerned, we provide a highly flexible economic modeling that will bring in incentives is one, the cash. Another important aspect is how to build a cash flow economic modeling that will help the customer to sustain for a longer period of time in engaging with us rather than giving surprises. Okay, initially customer pays low, right? That's
Yeah.
what many times that happens. Over a period of second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, they started seeing surprises from any of the OEMs, the cost will be higher. Here it's not like that. We provide a sustained economic modeling that is not applicable for today, or
Mhm.
it is applicable for tomorrow as well. So no surprises,
Very interesting.
flexible, easy modeling with
This is
straightforward
one
engagement with
like
us.
the IT industry is like, takes a very bad name here, that there are too many surprises for the customers. Like your starting price would be probably free, or probably 399 or $399 or something, like, something very basic. And then there is a sudden jump, and there is no heads up to the customers, like what's happening in the, at the end of the year, or at, when they want to renew. This is one of the reasons why most of the software solutions or SaaS solutions are not able to retain customers in the long run. So this is very interesting to know that you are still basically, you can write all about marketing, learn all about marketing, but the fact of the matter is that you're still focusing on, the good old quality servicing, after sales support, and basically no surprises, and adding great value to your customers. So this is very interesting to know that it still works, and especially in the IT industry where, it's so different. So I think what really excites me is that the fact that you're talking about no surprises, although actually people cash on the factor that, initially we'll just, get a foot in the door with a minimalistic pricing, and then there will be a like a 50% jump in the next year.
So that is primarily because of the philosophy and the purpose that we have envisaged for us. We invest 40% of our earnings in the R&D. Out of 2,000 people globally, we have 1,800 people in research and development. Just
That's
imagine we have just 200 people in marketing to address the global requirement. So most of our engagements is through ecosystem of partners. We believe that we are a technology company. We are not a marketing company or a services company. We believe that the strengths lies with our ecosystem of partners, and the capability to deliver services lies with our partners. We want to let the partner to earn money leveraging our technology rather than we compete with them building our own skill sets for providing services, or competing with them to in terms of selling in the sales and also services as well. No, 95 to, except in few places in Korea where we engage directly because customer wants us to engage, only for very few customers. But rest of the other global engagement to the customer needs are addressed through the partner ecosystem that we have developed. We don't have an extensive network of partners ecosystem. In fact, people do locate us, come back to us, and once they engage with us, they see a fortune. In fact, I should say that we are diamond hidden in Korean shell.
Uh, so it's very interesting. Like, you take so good care of all your stakeholders, whether it is your customers, your partners, or your end customers. That's very, very interesting. Like, because you're not exactly like just making profit. You're looking at a long-term retention and sustainability of relationships and customers, when it comes to partners, when it comes to clients. And today, with the whole startup culture coming in, I think these things are kind of taking a back seat, when it comes to showing the profit and the margins and stuff. So it is very interesting to know that these things still work. And basically in IT industry, you need a really good product, and having 1,800 people in R&D, it's a very, I think, very big and tough decision to make. I don't think like we have this kind of, or like 80% distribution of workforce in the R&D. So how do you exactly came up with that number, or was it like right from the start the product was always the center of everything, and you kind of retain that goal right from beginning to the even to today, that that's the end goal, that have a best product in the market and use that to kind of leverage and scale?
Yeah, see, that's primarily because of our chairman, and he had a very humble beginning. Okay, and he didn't get into graduation till the age of 32.
Wow.
He was high school pass out, and he was working from the age of 10, and he had worked in multiple uh, work aspects, right from a messenger boy to supply chain company and also a clerk in Ana Bank. At the age of 32, when the bank, Ana Bank, spotted his talent and let him go to US for studies. He went on to study his graduation to engineering to PhD within 7 years, all in 7 years, one shot, and with a $150,000 sponsorship in 1983. He finished his PhD in 1989, became a professor in number one institute called KAIST Institute, which is far superior than the IITs and MIT, similar like MIT and Stanford in Korea. It's a research institute, and he started this in 97. So his focus was predominantly to develop a technology powerhouse, as I said before, rather than focusing only on the money aspect of it. So he focused to make sure that the money is earned to continue to develop new product lines, and we can question that you're not making huge amount of money like the other US based companies, but our philosophy is simple, that we are here to solve the customer's problem. May not be vast. Yes, one day, I'll give you an example. One day somebody will take our product without buying out our product to make it success. I'll tell you one simple example of similar kind of a product, which is a Korean product, which is world well known today. I'm sure you would have heard SAP HANA, right?
Yes.
HANA
Yeah.
is not HANA. People do think HANA is a SAP product, and
It's a,
the ex-Infosys CEO claimed credit for HANA, etc., as if he has developed it, which is quite, was unreasonable in my say. I can make this statement publicly as well. But I wanted to tell you, HANA, HANA, firstly is a Korean name. The meaning of HANA is number one, which is similar like a one HANA, two HANA, etc. And it's a Korean product developed by my chairman student and friend, Dr. Sang Yun Cha, and
that's
it
that's
was it was
wow.
developed in 2001, similar like our database product called Tibero. Tibero is our database. So he was also a professor, and
Yeah.
both were friends. And in 2005, he wanted to make sure that he couldn't continue as far as the product development is concerned. He engaged with SAP. SAP scouted a particular product in Korea, which they desperately wanted. Instead of focusing on engaging with Oracles and DB2s and Microsoft of the world, they wanted to have their own product as a part of their application deployment. So SAP bought over it and deployed till 7 years, till 2011, 2012. They developed it, and then now they are going after every SAP installation replaced from Oracle, Microsoft, DB2 to SAP HANA. So you can see a diamond made it big. Now today SAP HANA is very, very popular. So I'm sure there will be a time in next few years down the line, we'll see a significant partner engaging with us. We are talking to many partners as well, because ultimately the assets that are developed and deployed in Korea, it's outstanding, but it's not getting the leverage that it deemed fit. If the asset is not fully utilized, then possibly the capabilities are not seen by the global world. So we are talking to quite a few people in terms of making sure that we get the right kind of ecosystem to partner with, and making sure that our global world take the advantage of our technology developed in Korea and deployed across the globe.
Wow, that's really amazing, and that's a huge revelation. I think that's I think I'm not sure like a lot of people knew about that, and very interesting to know that. And seriously, like it's a really big revelation. Raghu, but in a business, there are good days, there are bad days, there are good decisions, and there are not so good decisions. What do you think, when it comes to, marketing or sales in IT industry, there were some decisions that might have backfired and you would have probably done it differently if if you're given a second shot at the same decision. So, I mean, just for people to know, what sometimes work, what might sometimes might not work as an experiment.
Okay, this is quite interesting. We should know what our strengths are and work within the strengths. You should not cross beyond the how much we can chew. We are good in technology. But we know we should know our limitations. So my chairman, being a chairman, like I should call him as a, newborn kid. You in 6 months down the line, the newborn kid always tasting only the mother's milk, right? And mother used to, and what happens is it will not, and it requires toys. It will not stay with the toy beyond 15 days or 20 days or 30 days, right?
True.
It will keep on finding a new toys. So my chairman, being a technological wizard, he will keep on coming out with a newer technology. So he's more focused on newer technology and
Yeah.
then not reaping the benefits of the existing technology, which is wonderful. See, the assets, that's why I'm telling, the assets that are developed here are not fully leveraged. So that is what he has seen in the last 7 years. He has been not been told, being a Korean, right? Nobody goes and tells him, where people are scared and to go and tell him, hey, this is right, this is wrong, etc. But I am the only exception within his leadership community that I go and tell him politely outside, not in the forum, telling him that we need to monetize the existing assets. So slowly is coming out of the shell in terms of monetizing the existing assets and reducing the efforts of developing new products. So one of the key thing is the challenges that we have been facing is we in 2008 2009 we came out with a product operating system
Hmm.
which is competing with Microsoft Windows. It
Right.
failed thoroughly, and we went into a complete mess in terms of financials. Lot of money were pumped in on developing the product, and it had come to a stage that we had suffered a huge loss because we were not earning money. We were just only spending money. So that one area that we focused on, we sold that to Samsung, and then we refocused on monetizing the existing technology, which is our database and the middleware, stabilized ourselves, and then start opening up 18 subsidiaries over a period of time. And by 2015, we stabilized and expanded our reach to the global marketplace. So big learning uh, is we were kept on spending money rather than earning money
Right.
in the R&D. That's a big learning, and making sure that monetize the existing wonderful product, not only within Korean industry but also the outside industry, and continue to work on the existing product and focus on new products as and while we need to beat the competition in terms of leaders in the technology space, but at the same time we should make sure that the existing assets are monetized fully and make sure that we meet the global requirement over a period of time rather than everything we want to be there in every space of the technology aspects of it.
Makes
So
sense.
focused on few products while we do have products that can beat any. See, we compete with Microsoft in Microsoft range of products. We compete with Oracle in Oracle range of products. We compete with IBM in IBM range of products. If you go into the details of product range, we have every product that all these three companies combined together they can give.
But you need
But
to pick a niche.
pick the niche, right? That's where we are focusing on. That's where we are going to succeed, and that's happening in the last few years. And that's predominantly our ecosystem on the legacy modernization is making a big hit. And we have wonderful case studies like GE Capital, Colony Brands, Health Plan Services, McDonald's, Sompo Japan. These are
Right.
all big names that we have engaged with, and solid partnerships with TCS, Accenture, Wipro, and Infosys, which helps us in terms of taking this particular product to the global world. And I'm sure we are going to see a significant success through the ecosystem of partners that we have seen, and their success will lead to our success. We might be a smaller portion of a bigger pie that they are going to earn, but that's going to be a significant aspect of our success. We might be a small player, but we are a significant player to our partner ecosystem who are delivering value to our customers, that not only for the current technology trends but also meeting the futuristic standards.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Raghu. I think not a lot of people might have shared this because, you really want to keep it all intact that, we never went through a rough phase. Uh, Also very interesting, Raghu. I'll tell you why. Because today in the startup culture, it's all about burning cash. Everyone is about, we'll burn money today, we'll make money tomorrow. But honestly, not a lot of startups have actually kind of passed that phase. Even till now, even the best of the startups, which are very popular, strong brand recall value, but they still, they're not exactly cash flow positive. So it's very interesting to know that at some point in the conversation, you have to decide that I'll stop spending. I have to start monetizing with what I have, or I have to cut my losses and I have to start becoming cash flow positive. So, like for startup founders for today, what is your message? Like when do you think they should kind of take the decision that now it's time to take a step back and evaluate what are options, and kind of decide to streamline the processes to monetize or become cash flow positive?
See, I don't want to give any advice to any of these companies because these guys are the current generation kids are too good and they have their own way of engaging. And what I believe is one thing. Okay, it depends on the purpose that we
Right.
engage with. If the purpose is a long term and sustained, and if we believe that we are here to make a mark in the global space, the companies who sustain for not only for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. For example, I just want to give an example. Infosys as a company,
Yeah.
this company never had a short-term vision. They had a long-term vision, and I'm sure this company will survive for another 50 years, 100 years, etc. That's the level of vision that we should have. It's not the valuation alone. And if we have a purpose in place, and if we believe that we are here to make a significant positive multiplier impact, social impact across the globe, that is the only suggestion I can give. But I'm not sure about giving suggestion whether you want to spend money, burn cash. That is to do with the investors and the ecosystem that they are working with and the industry that they are engaging with, and what is the purpose that they are going to deliver to the customers or consumers that they are providing services to. So for me, most important aspect is to provide a positive impact through a strong purpose. That's what I will follow, and I'm not here to suggest or advise this is right, this is wrong. Everybody have seen success in their own way. You have seen many of these startups have seen significant success, and what determines their success and their
Minds.
nomenclature of success is can be varied. Our success to be among the top 5 software companies across the globe, not merely a cash or revenue aspect of it. And each and every company has got their own definition of success. So I will leave it to them. As long as they get in line in the path of their success and focused on delivering what they believe their success rate is, I would leave it like that.
True. I mean, the reason why I asked this question is, Raghu, because in marketing companies, I come across so many startups and SMEs, and they all want to become like super quick, super fast, super rich. So that usually does not how it works. Even with marketing, no matter you do digital marketing, offline marketing, any kind of marketing, paid marketing, organic marketing, everything takes some time to build up. And most importantly, what I've seen with my very small experience is that unless and until the product is rock solid, if it is not something which customers relate to, which customers identify with, or they are happy to kind of buy it the second time or pay for it the second time or second month, it, no matter how good your marketing is, it eventually does not pan out in the right way. So, I mean, this is exactly why it was very interesting for me to know that there were very hard calls, tough decisions to make, that when to stop spending on certain products. Not always easy to kind of because most of these startups today as well have like IIT founders with a lot of solid background in technology, and they're very passionate about your products. I have some very difficult conversations at a lot of times with my customers, and I tell them that your product is very good, but it might not have really the good market fit what you're looking for, because eventually the end goal becomes that how many people are actually willing for paying for your product or for your service, or for your subscription fee. So I was just saying that as a lot of customers come to us and they want to grow very fast by spending a lot of money in the ad campaigns and scaling up very fast, but we have seen this, that unless and until the product is rock solid or the service is rock solid, it becomes really difficult for them to scale and grow in the long run, no matter how good the marketing is or the branding is or the brand communication. So coming back to the original, the message of the story, what you have been sharing with us all along, that the product has to be good, but at the same time, you also have to pick your niche, and you have to kind of build a end-to-end stakeholder servicing model, because if you want to, if you're having a long-term vision like Infosys, basically you mean to have a long-term vision for your growth strategy as well, right? So Raghu, again, like I know that you don't want to give any suggestions, any because you understand that there are different mindsets for everyone for growth perspective. But still, like what would be your learnings? Like you have so much, like you have like 27 years of learning experience in such a very tough field to make in. And how much difference do you find like in your operations in IBM and in TmaxSoft? Like, what do you think are different, interesting, or would you say that comparison wise, because TmaxSoft is again a very amazing company, but it's very different from IBM in a lot of ways. So how do you kind of see that as a positive or a complementary thing?
I'll give you a suggestion to you, since you're also a budding entrepreneur and then you want to make a mark out of it. Is that okay to you?
That will be perfect.
See, you started this with a purpose, right? And you want to
Yes.
make it a success. And it's not, success is not merely a, you feel, one should feel satisfied. How can you feel satisfied? And you can feel satisfied if you are making a very positive multiplier, significant impact to the entire people in the ecosystem that you engage with, and the value that they see. And everyone, each and every, most of the people are getting excited if somebody comes and tells you, hey, you have done a fantastic job. And that resonates to multiple impact positively across the ecosystem that you engage with. And if that is the purpose, and if you're following that purpose, and I'm sure you will be a significant player over a period of long term rather than a short term uh, money multiplier, which will slowly, you will reach the peak quickly, but at the same time you will start seeing the slope faster than before. So if you want to sustain, and I'm sure the passion, the hunger that you have, and you want to see the success of the people that you are engaging with, that primarily the employees that you have having with you, your partner ecosystem, and then comes the customers. And if you believe those people are successful, automatically success is for you as well. It doesn't mean that you can be successful with the rest of the people are not being successful. That's the first and foremost thing.
True.
Whether it's a big company like IBM or TmaxSoft, a smaller company, should engage as a leader. I believed, whether in one is IBM or in TmaxSoft, the same philosophy I followed. And I started realizing that, I'll give you a simple example. Without doing marketing in IBM, I made a big success of a particular initiative. And uh, IBM has got a particular website, internet site called IBM Developer Works, which is one of the key unique site which will help all the developers to use various technology going into the site. Not well known in 2000 when I joined. No money, zero money, right? For making this successful. So how to make, first of all, make this site successful? So I identified top 10 IT services company which has got 50,000 and above employees. So that time, many of the, unlike today, where everybody's have an access to internet servers within the company itself, they didn't have, only project managers or any above leaders have the internet access. They cannot use this developer work site in their ecosystem. So I went to each and every company and gave them a message to the top CEOs and CXOs. This is the 10 companies, and each of around 50,000 above employees. So automatically the number of people who have, and what I did is I gave that as an intranet site, uh, embedded in their own, in their server in Infosys. So that helped all the employees to have an access to the this site. So without spending any money, we made a success. So what happened because of this success? There were 4 more employees were given to India. They started investing money. Without spending money, we shown success,
Yeah.
and they gave 4 people to deliver more success, and it multiplied. Two important aspects. So one is how you can make a success without spending money. You have shown at least to some level, and then people start focusing on that, and then they start investing, right? And then see more and more success. And what happens is, when I got to know that I can leverage my capability to give 4 more jobs in an IBM. IBM is a big company, right? Who is bothered? But I start believing because of me, I got 4 people new jobs. So when I started, then my focus only on growing the business within my ecosystem in my organization in the particular department significantly grow. When I grow the business, automatically you get more and more people coming in and more jobs. So that excited me more. So even
And
in the organization,
exactly
that my
decided that probably you need to go and you kind of need to build your own ecosystem. That's
so this
amazing.
is precisely I would like to suggest to you. You focus on firstly, you focus on small, build a small base, and get the mind share of the people, get more people, enable them, and make a success. More and more focus on the employees, focus on their success. If you focus on their success and their welfare, automatically your welfare is taken care. So
Right.
that's my fundamental belief, not because I acquired that belief, possibly that belief has been ingrained from my birth. So that has helped me to be successful even in TmaxSoft. I always believed the foremost success of the lies with my employees within the ecosystem that I work with and the partner success and their success based on the customers. My first employees, partners, then the customers. So that
That-
I focused on. That is unfortunately missing in many of the startup companies.
That's
And my
why
suggestion to you is focus on your employees and the people around you, and they will be as committed as you are. Because if you see only people like you who have invested money will be passionate to make your organization success, right? So each and every person who are working with you should see that's their organization. They want to make a success. It's a personal motivation for them to make a success. And that multiplies into a significant multiplier 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x over a period of time. It's a similar story what Infosys did. 6 people, today it's around 250,000 people.
seriously,
But it
yeah,
takes time.
it takes time, patience, and being committed to your own core values and say staying true to them no matter how tough the situation becomes. So I think this is again one. I mean, I know I have asked too many questions. Just one or two maybe questions. That one is that when times become tough, right? It's not always easiest to kind of take the toughest path. So how do you kind of, because people usually, fire employees or, kind of look at short-term goals of increasing their price point and, those shortcuts to kind of get the initial influx. So as you told that there was a time that which was actually financially challenging. So other than of course focusing on monetizing the product, how do you guys kind of manage to survive and thrive in that very tough period? And it could be a very valuable lesson for me and as well as anyone, who would be watching this and understanding that, times will always become tough, when it comes to business once or one or the other time. How do you exactly try that by staying true to your values and whatever you are looking for in the long run?
See, one of the key thing is for any entrepreneur or leader to be is more empathetic towards the employees that they recruit and they engage with, and you should look at their welfare as I repeatedly making that and their growth, their success. It's not that you hire for them because you have a short-term goal to meet, and then it happened even to the biggest training company which has been extremely successful in their brand and etc. In the last 2 years they sacked so many people because one should recruit people not because they want the people only for that particular period. COVID created a lot of jobs for
Yes.
certain section of the education sector.
Yeah.
They went and recruited so many people without knowing what would be the impact post COVID. And what had happened is their intention is to milk during that COVID time. The intention is one important aspect for any leader, which is possibly right intentions. If you have intentions to make only the short-term goals, which is to milk the market during the times which is very tough, and for certain people, and then possibly you leave those people in the lurch after the time period is over, then you will have a long-term sustained negative impact of the brand and that image of the company. That is what most of the companies, even the recent companies like the one of the leading education sector company who have sacked so many people, and they gave the justification that we never envisaged that the business will go down after the COVID time. The surge was so much to the virtual learning. Now we have to sack so many people, and the people whom they recruited for online training, they have sacked so many people, which is possibly the not right thing to do. Even assuming the intentions are good, but for
Still should have
not knowing the business, for example, ourselves, that is also wrong. But you cannot continue to make a mistake that what we did in 2008 2009, developing a product which possibly keep on investing on a new product, and then possibly have to give it to somebody else because we are not able to sustain. Two things: one is intentions to be right, at the same time we need to understand the market and deliver to the market where demands should be on a sustained growth basis, and not just meeting the demands of the investors or the equity partners that you are engaging in only for the valuation purpose.
true. Immediate results might not be exactly, and most importantly, when you do something like this, like when you fire people in bulk, and the kind of damage it does to your brand, it's very difficult to come back from that, because it immediately shows people that you did not really, being a company of this scale, you did not really think in the long run. You did something in the short run, so there is a very likely chance that you might do it again. So that kind of, puts always, puts you in a back foot
Um,
for a
uh,
time.
Absolutely. How many people would have shut shop during the COVID time? Even with the people with good intentions, they suffered. Fortunately, touchwood, I was so lucky that I have been bit safe in terms of expansion, and knowingly these kind of extreme challenges would come through, and we were we were able to go through without any issues with respect to stress on our financials during the course of the time in the last 2 years. And now we are in the leapfrog.
Thank you so
I
much.
never had a stress, financial stress during those periods.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
I'm fortunate. I'm
Look in the
not saying that it's
yeah.
yeah. I'm not saying it's purely because of me or something. It's just that the sense of responsibility that I carry as a leader of this organization, and because sense of responsibility, I'm here to serve the people around me. That made me to be sensible, responsible, to make a mark not only during the tough period, but also the period that we can be together growing in the future.
True.
The
So
sense
Raghu,
of responsibility is the most important thing for everyone.
absolutely. So Raghu, just wanted to know what would be your final closing words for our viewers who would be watching this, and anyone who's seeking for inspiration from you. It has been such an amazing interview altogether. Very insightful, and thank you so much. Like, because you shared so much with us, and I'm sure that this will help a lot of people in kind of making some very big decisions. And I know that at least I'm included in that. Like, it sometimes you feel very demotivated that when you're looking at long term vision, things does not pan out immediate results, right? So this gives a lot of motivation that there is always, uh, grass which will be definitely greener on the other side if you just kind of keep moving in the right direction.
Okay, two, three things I just wanted to, for anyone who are keen to make a mark on a sustained basis. Everyone should be very much responsible what their actions and their effect of the actions as well. They should be mindful of what they are doing, responsible, and what their purpose are is very important. Learnability is one important aspect. They need to continue to learn uh, every day, uh, every minute. And when they wake up in the morning, they should believe that they are here to serve the entire ecosystem. And everyone should pick and choose how many people you are impacting by the actions that you are taking on a day to day basis, impacting positively. If it sounds philosophical, but I believe these are the three important things underlining for everybody's sustained long-term success is what is Infosys today, and it will be for you as well as a company, which will
Right.
or a company similar to yours, which is looking at a long-term 20-year, 30-year, 50-year old horizon. People should remember you for decades rather than only a short-term 5-year, 10-year period. And money will not retain your name, and but your deeds and serving the people that impacts the quality of the life and the success of every individual around you will remember forever. That's the responsibility, the purpose, and impact that you're creating for every action that you are focusing on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you so much, Raghu, for your time. You're such a busy person. Thank you so much for finding time for us. It really means a lot. I cannot say, enough words. I don't have enough words to say, thank you to you. Thank you so much. It has been really an amazing, amazing interview. And I'm sure this is an awesome kickstart to our Marketing Uncensored series. Thank you so much for the session, Raghu.
Thanks a lot, Kriti, and it's my pleasure to engage with you. I'm sure that in the course of the time, we will leverage your skill sets and your team skill sets for the success for joint engagement going forward. It's my pleasure engaging with you, and thank you for your time in taking this discussion forward. I'm sure you found this interesting and engaging as well.
Absolutely. No doubts about that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you for listening to Marketing Uncensored. Connect with us at ekaksha.co.in. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter. See you in the next episode.